Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to GFC, Global Football Culture. Just to tell you guys a little bit about myself and also about the channel. So my name is Dez. I'm a big football fan. I've been playing the sport since I was 5, 6 years old, growing up in Ghana, playing on the streets with my cousins and my friends growing up. Always talking about it, learning about the sport from my dad, my cousins, aunts, uncles, everybody. In Africa, everybody loves football. That's what it was for me growing up. I even remember like my grandma used to have a liquor shack, and I remember all her customers, these old drunk men, would just be arguing and fighting over football, like what team was gonna win what game, who was the greatest players of all time, like stuff like that. So all these experiences I had growing up when I was in Ghana, they all helped me develop a strong love and fascination with the sport. And I'm also a coach. I coach at grassroots, and I also coach at the high school level. So at the high school level, I coach junior varsity, and I also assist with coaching varsity. So yeah, I always stay involved with the game as much as I can. Even when I was in college, like I was a student manager with UConn men's soccer. So yeah, I've always loved the sport. So the reason why I created the channel was because actually for this winter session, I wasn't able to get a team to work with. So it just kind of, in terms of me wanting to keep in touch with the sport as much as I can, I decided to create global football culture just so that I can share my love and my knowledge with the sport with the big soccer football community that exists around the world. So my hope is that through global football culture, I'll be able to learn a lot more about the game, and then hopefully you guys can also learn a lot more about the beautiful game that we all love from me. You know, so getting into the first video, it's just gonna be us watching the highlights of the great Diego Armando Maradona, who sadly passed away a week ago. It was shocking news for the world of soccer. I was definitely sad, for to see the game lose one of its greatest icons. And yeah, it was a sad moment, but when we lose great people, the important thing is that we always remember the greatest moments. So with that said, we're gonna hop right into the video and just enjoy Maradona for the player that he was. Let's get into it. Dribbling skills, guys are gonna love this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so right away, first couple of clips, you get to see the first touch, the dribbling skills, the close control, and the skills to a Cruyff turn in the second clip, and then as a Rabona as well. Like, man, this guy was special. And as you could tell from the video, he wore number 10. So for those of you that might not know much about the game, he wore number 10 because he played as a central attacking midfielder and also as a second striker. So basically, his job was to be like the guy with the creative flair, kind of creating goal scoring opportunities for his team, and he did score a lot of goals as well. So like wearing number 10, which is like the most iconic number in the sport. And yeah, right away you can see his quality. Also in the first clip, we saw him lifting the World Cup, which he won in 1986 with his country, Argentina. One of the greatest World Cup ever. He had a lot of iconic moments in that World Cup. So I have a feeling we're going to see some of those moments in this video, but let's just keep watching. Let's see what we got. First time I meet those old boys, I think. That's ridiculous. Rabona assist. Like, man, I would do anything to have like 5% of the skill this man had. Like he was born to play football. Like his feet, his skill, everything. It's just like he knew how to manipulated a football so perfectly. Like that's why so many people growing up, like my older brother's generation, a lot of older guys that grew up learning about the sport from, like he was their role model, he was their icon, he was the guy that a lot of kids growing up they wanted to be Maradona. He was that superhero, like global star of the game. So good. And you see the finishing too, like clinical, man. This guy was clinical in the box. Like he could finish. Like he was lethal, man. One of the greatest finishers of all time as well. Okay. So that clip right there, I'm pretty sure it's from the 1986 World Cup where they played Argentina played West Germany in the final, and Maradona, led Argentina winning that World Cup. He won the Golden Ball for that World Cup, which is the best player of that tournament. So yeah, that was one of his crowning moments was that 1986 World Cup. Man, so from those last couple of clips right there, you could see the low center of gravity, the speed, the power. He was a short little man, like 5'5", like he's not the biggest guy ever, but for soccer, for the position he played, he was built like kind of right, like because he has that low center of gravity. So what would happen is once he gets on his motor, he gets going with the ball. Defenders just hard for them to tackle him because if they tackle him, they give away free kick, they give away penalties. So it's like he was just dangerous, just dangerous. And then with the level of skill and play he had on the ball, it was just like it was a combination made in heaven, in the heavens of football. Okay, so the last couple clips we just saw was from his time at Napoli. So just give you guys a little bit of information about him during his time at Napoli. So before he went to Napoli, he was at Barcelona for a season, and then he goes to Napoli. Before he arrived at Napoli, Napoli was a mid-level club in the Serie A. This at that time like Juventus, AC Milan were the biggest teams. Winning a lot, winning Serie A's, winning also European Cups, the Champions League as we call it now. But when he arrived, he changed everything like upside down. Like he led a team that was a mid-level team into winning two Serie A titles, which are the only two still in the history of Napoli that they've won. And he also led the club to winning the UEFA Cup, which is now the Europa League, which they haven't won a European Cup since. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So that again highlights his greatness as a player. Like that's why in Naples he's considered like a god, like a saint. Like you go to many places in Naples, you can see the images even when you look online. If you tap in Maradona Naples or Maradona Napoli, you're gonna see on streets, even on people's like houses and on apartment complexes on the outside, they have like murals of him up. Like I think that's what it's called. Like they've spray painted images of him onto the walls, like just to pay homage to such a great player. So it just shows the greatness of this player. Yeah, the king of Naples, the hand of God. Okay, just to explain what that is, the Hand of God from 1986 World Cup. This is when Argentina played England in the quarterfinal, and this was the first goal he scored See, he dribbles through, I think maybe 4 or 5 players, does a give and go. On the go, he gets it in the air. He goes up, challenges with the goalkeeper, and ends up trying to head the ball, but ends up scoring with his hand. So it's one of those infamous, one probably the greatest infamous moment in the history of football, because it was a goal that shouldn't have been allowed, but that World Cup is so iconic that it's just always going to be etched in the history of the game. So let's see it. Yep, hand of God right there. Yep, uses his hand. So pretty sure the goalkeeper was Peter Shilton, if I remember correctly, was the goalkeeper for England in that '86 World Cup, and he's you know pro protesting. But back then you didn't have VAR in the game like we do now, video assist referee. So the referee missed it and gave the goal. But even before the hand moment happens, like guys, you could see the flair, the skill, the way he's dribbling past those players, playing the give and go. The ball comes back in the air, and it leads to that moment. But yeah, man, that moment will always be in the lore of the game. Big Rich's Juventus. Oh my gosh, that is just ridiculous. Wow. Okay, so all I can say to that is just cheeky. That was so nonchalant. The way he just easily just kind of just almost instep. So he's hit the ball with his instep, but the way he's done it is just so easy. Just kind of floats the ball into that top corner. It's not perfectly in the top corner, but he hit it with just so much finesse that the goalkeeper couldn't save it. And I don't know if you guys could tell, but this was actually an indirect free kick. So what that is where a foul has happened in the box, and so the referee has deemed that it wasn't egregious enough of a foul to give it as a penalty. So instead, what he does is he gives an indirect free kick. So that's why the number 8 guy, as you see, he rolls the ball for Maradona to shoot because it's indirect. So somebody has to play it before somebody can shoot, and then we get this brilliant, absolutely cheeky moment from Maradona, man. And that moments like that is why he was so respected by not only fans but players, great players. So many great players tell stories about when they met Maradona and how they were in awe, like they'd never met such a man before. Like it was like he had the aura about him. Like that shows his greatness. Because as they say, like game knows game. Game always knows game. And so many great players, like say he was the greatest of all time. He's definitely in the Mount Rushmore. Top four, he's in there. My top four is I have Pele, Messi, Maradona, and Cristiano Ronaldo. So comment down below, let me know who your top four is, your greatest players of all time are, and I will respond to some of your comments. So yeah, I'll do my best. Yeah. What a chip. So right there we have some Paninka chips right there, making it look easy. Just so basically what those moments are is basically he's dribbling past all these defenders, right? So what's happening is the goalkeeper is trying to anticipate and get ahead of what's about to happen. So the goalkeeper is starting to step out slowly, thinking that Maradona is going to go past the last defender and take him on in a one-on-one situation. But what's happening is Maradona, he's reading this, seeing all this happening while dribbling, and it's like, okay, I'm just going to chip it over, nice easy chip into the back of the net. And these moments also show his greatness because it shows not only his elite, like god-like skill level in terms of football, but also his IQ, like his understanding of the game to kind of have the picture of what's going on and to know what to do. And what caps it all off is he makes it look so easy. Like What you guys just saw, if you guys, those of you that might not know as much about the game, like that is such a hard thing to do in the moment, especially to do it at elite level, top of the game, the creme de la creme of the sport, as they say, and to make it look so easy, all this stuff like in a couple of seconds, like it's just amazing, beautiful. What? That's ridiculous. You guys see the angle? Let me go back. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see that white line, but that's the touch line. And look at where he's scoring from. Basically on the sideline, and he scored a goal. Like that's such a hard skill to do. Like, man, if you guys tried this, even if I tried it in the park, man, if I tried it 20 times, I would only make it a couple times. Like a couple, like that is so hard to do. You see, one, two, three defenders right there, and he still manages to score with the goalkeeper on the line. With the goalkeeper on the line. How ridiculous is that? Wow. That's why he's, really is a player to come from Argentina. That's another lovely chip right there from his time at Boca Juniors. Diego Maradona played for some legendary clubs. I talked about Napoli already. I briefly mentioned Barcelona. The 1 year he spent at Barcelona, where interestingly enough, he's one of I think only three Barcelona players to ever get a standing ovation at the Santiago Bernabeu, which is the home stadium of Real Madrid. So that tells you everything. Barcelona and Real Madrid, their biggest rivals. Like, it's probably the biggest rivalry in the game of football. And for him to be playing for Barcelona, go to Real Madrid, and to play at a level where the fans of Madrid literally got up to give him a standing ovation, like that's just like, that's stuff of dreams. Like, you don't see moments like this. And for it to only happen to, I think, three players. I think one of the other two I know for sure was Ronaldinho Gaucho, another legend who played for Brazil. And then the other one, I think it might have been Ronaldo Nazario. I think it was Ronaldo Nazario, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it's another Brazilian legend of the game. So, yeah, let's get into it. Finish the rest of the video. Goal of the century. Wow. This moment right here, goal of the century. So this is also another moment from the 1986 World Cup quarterfinal versus England. So the hand of God I told you guys about earlier happened around the 50th, 51st minute of that game. And then a couple minutes later, literally I think 3 or 4 minutes later, he did this, and then that was the two goals Argentina scored. So in literally the span of 5 minutes, Maradona scored the most infamous goal in the history, and then also the goal that's considered like the greatest goal of all time, because he did this moment in the World Cup. So this goal is actually like it said in the video, it's the goal of it was considered the goal of the century, like the greatest goal of the 1900s. There was a goal scored by Pele at the Maracana that's also considered like one of the greatest goals of all time during this era. So yeah, those two goals really stand out. But yeah, this was a beautiful moment. Once again, you see the low center of gravity, the dribbling, the skill, the flair. I mean, he had the feints, everything. This guy had everything. Man, oh man, this was a beautiful moment. He runs the goalkeeper, manages to score, eliminates England. Like, man, crazy. And what really gives me chills about this particular goal is hearing the commentary. Like, a lot of the greatest moments in the game is when this we see this great individual moments of skill and brilliance. And then the commentary, like when the commentary is perfect, it just gives you chills. Like the way the guy's just going Maradona, 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 Maradona. Like it just adds so much, and it just gives this moment like this nostalgia. Like it just tops it all off. It's just like it's beautiful to watch it, and it's also amazing to listen to it. Like imagine being in the stands like when this goal was scored. Like oh my, you can even see the fans. Like that's insane. I would have loved to have. I would have loved to have watched Maradona in person. To be honest, I would have loved to have watched him in person. Like that would have been something spectacular. Like Pele too, the same thing. You know, Eusebio, Rinchas, Di Stefanos, like those greatest players of the 1900s that unfortunately, like I never got a chance to see. Like man, I wish I got to watch these players play, even if it was for 5 minutes, like man, because what they were able to do with the ball is amazing. And mind you, too, the game was way more physical back then. That's the thing people don't give them credit for. Maradona was playing in a way more physical eras. The tackling was way more rougher. The pitches were way worse than they are now. Like so it was a hard physical era to play in. And for him to have been able to do the things he did with the soccer ball is just beautiful. There's a video of him warming up that everybody talks about. Like if you have a chance, I'll try to link it in the description below. But that video is also amazing. Just get to see his love for the game, like with him just warming up, like just at ease, loving football, loving life. Like that's who Diego Maradona was. So to wrap it up, I guess I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once again, welcome to GFC. Yeah, also subscribe and like the video. Share this video with your family and friends. Like my hope is to be posting videos every day. Sometimes it's going to be reactions. Sometimes I'll be posting my thoughts on like games that happened, like the best games from the weekend or the during the midweek matches, like Champions League, Europa League, stuff like that. So, and also I'll post like training videos, coaching videos, stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of content coming out on this channel. And yeah, so I hope you guys like the video, and like I hope to interact with you guys a lot in the comment section. So yeah, that's pretty much it. First video, I enjoyed it. So let's see what we do. Let's see what we can build up. Thank you. Bye.